Hey, Ashley.
How's it going? How's everybody doing? Feeling
Doing
good?
well. I'm doing well. Hope everyone else is doing well. That was a great presentation by Marine,
Oh my goodness.
by the way. That
I
was
was
fantastic.
fascinated.
Everyone loved it. We don't know how much time we're going to move quick on this. But this is the seventh startup showcase that we've done, and I was thinking through all the history of all the ones we've had. Not only the winners, but companies who were in it but didn't win, like Tovala, which
Yes.
I see advertising on this on Monday Night Football now. We saw Incredible Spoon. They changed their name, but
Yes.
they
Many
were just
have
on
actually. Yep.
they were on Shark Tank like 2 weeks ago.
Hmm.
We had one of our judges was Bill Bergen, a former rocket scientist who was started doing this thing to make his lunch not get soggy called
Oh
Soggy
my
Free
gosh.
Sus. Now he's doing deals with like some of the biggest companies in the world. So great place for a lot of these companies to get their start. But that's the past. Now's the now.
I
And so
know.
let's talk about who won. So we had three judges. Like I said, Bill Bergen. We also had Evan Dash, who a lot of people know is the company behind Storebound. And then finally, Nicole from Good Housekeeping.
Yes.
I always mispronounce her name. Can you pronounce her name better?
I no, don't put me on the spot to pronounce Nicole's last name. Nicole, we're so sorry.
I don't want to
Good
miss.
housekeeping has been such a great partner to us over the years, and
Yeah.
we didn't rehearse this, so
So, but yeah, so they were great. They were the three judges, and they ranked the different startups, which you guys have seen previewed in the startup showcase pitches on design, on customer need, and they came up with their final scores. We took those scores from them, tabulated them, and took the top overall score, and we have a winner. There's no tie this year. We had a tie one year, but there's no tie this year.
I know. I feel like I should do a drum roll, but I've got nothing to do that with.
Yeah, and the cool thing is, we hope to have the winner come on stage here as we right after we announce. So, but the
Yes.
winner is Mezli, a maker of containerized robotic restaurants, and they actually have one in practice. And we just sent an email out to Alex Kolchinski, who's the CEO, and actually looks like he's actually in the backstage.
He's
We're going to bring
here,
him up.
ready to come on stage.
That's fast. Alex, how are
Hey
you?
there.
Hi,
Congratulations.
Thanks very much.
That's awesome. Where are you? Are you near your robotic containerized restaurant?
As a matter of fact, our V2 robot restaurant is right behind me, right there in that shipping container.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. So quickly explain to people what the Mezli product is and the current generation.
So we make robot restaurants that make great food affordable. And so we're building these modular restaurants that are totally autonomous, like the one you see behind me. This one is actually kind of backstage. So we serve customers food from it through our restaurant across the street, which is still serving mostly human-powered food with the occasional robot-powered bowl. And next year, we'll be launching the fully customer-facing full auto version. And so that's what we're working on now.
Fantastic. And how did you get into making robotic restaurants? Well, like, were you into robotics before? Tell us about your story a little bit.
Yeah, so actually, I'm here with my co-founder and CTO, also Alex Garubala.
Hey, Alex.
And we were both grad students at Stanford. I was working on AI research, and Alex was doing some soft robotics research. And both of us had this problem that we're trying to solve, that it was really expensive to eat good food out. We were pretty busy as PhD students. We couldn't cook all the time. But if we wanted to eat out, it was kind of a choice between going to McDonald's, which didn't really make us feel great if we ate it every day, or going places like the Stanford dining halls or Chipotle or Sweetgreen and paying 10 or 15 bucks for lunch or dinner, which we also couldn't really afford on a student stipend. And we started asking around and realized that a lot of people had the same problem, which is kind of this choice between cooking or eating unhealthy or paying a lot. And started looking around and talking to people in both the restaurant side of things and the robotics and automation side of things, and realized that we could actually solve this problem by making really great food autonomously. And so that's exactly what we're working on.
Building this, how much did you take like off the shelf, like robotic arms, et cetera, versus like how much was going to be customized? And maybe that changes over time, but like talk a little bit about like how you kind of built this thing.
We're taking a custom approach, actually,
Okay.
because Alex is from this robotics background. He did his PhD in robotics. And our third co-founder, Max, is from an aerospace engineering background. We've got kind of a lot of opinions on how to do things in a way that makes the most sense for the problem we're solving, which is making really good meals on site that taste great, that are good for you, and efficiently, so that we can do it cheaply, and so that we can serve this food quickly and put it in a small form factor. And so we're not using any robotic arms. We're using custom hardware, some of which we've actually designed in-house and filed some patents on, and some of which we're kind of adapting from off-the-shelf things. We've done some pretty hacky things in here, and I think we're going to be continuing to take this kind of hybrid approach in the future too.
Awesome. So what's the future for Mezli, right? Is this going to be a consumer-facing chain? Like, will I be able to go to a Mezli in Seattle at some point? Or is this going to be, hey, let's partner up with like, Pizza Hut, McDonald's, whoever. What is the future?
We're building towards making this a platform for really good, healthy, convenient meals at an affordable price point. Now, we're starting with our own brand, Mezli Mediterranean, and we will be continuing to grow that brand for the foreseeable future and probably forever, because we really want to start by closing the loop and knowing that we have really good food that works really well with our robot, that works really well with the customer experience. Once you start introducing partnerships from the get-go, it gets harder to really optimize things working well together and getting that to that incredible, great, healthy, fresh food that we want when we're talking about aligning more moving pieces. But we are building the robotics in a way that can do a lot of different stuff, basically anything that goes in a bowl, soups, salads, you name it, curry bowls. And so what we're doing here is we're actually building up to where we have a whole fleet of these across the country, even across the world, where these are all over the place because they're cheaper and smaller than restaurants, so you can put them in more places. And so what that means is that we're actually going to be able to deploy different concepts. Maybe we'll partner with a restaurant chain. Maybe we'll partner with a chef who runs 3 restaurants down in Utah. And we'll actually let people quickly launch their concepts to numerous of our locations. And so we won't just be serving that Mediterranean menu. We'll be serving all kinds of menus and creating not only the ability to get great food at a low price point, but creating a lot of variety for customers as well, and creating the ability for people who are creating food concepts to launch those concepts to a wide audience overnight, kind of doing what YouTube did for video production, but for food.